Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Star Chronicles Dallas Cowboy podcast. Got Lisa Lee in the house. Got Ron, aka the Starstruck fan in the house. We're here celebrating victory here on this wonderful Monday. Dallas Cowboys over the Philadelphia Eagles, 33-13, and a good old fashioned slobber knocker. I got my receipt from last week. Let's go ahead and go with what Lisa Lee had to say, because she wasn't here last week with us. So, what were your thoughts?
It was the first time ever that I really believed, and it's crazy to me because Philly's presumably one of the best teams, in the league and record wise. And so you would think I would have been more nervous, but I was not nervous at all going into the game. Matter of fact, I had lunch with a Philly fan yesterday and I said, "Do you really think y'all are going to win?" And he was like, "Oh yeah. And it's going to be a blowout." So I had to call him after the game and say, "You were right about half of that statement." It was interesting because I don't know why I felt that way, but it looked, and the crazy part to me is we left a lot out there. Like,
oh yeah,
Dak's post-game press conference. Yeah. He said if he played better, which I didn't think he played bad at all. Like, he said if he plays better, then they put up 50. And I don't think he's wrong about that.
No, absolutely not. I 100% agree with him. What was your thoughts on the game, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I went into it now earlier in the season. I had us winning this game. I had us losing the first time in Philly, and then I had us winning the second time around. I just had a feeling we were going to win at home against them later on in the season. Unfortunately, the only thing that threw a wrench in it is I thought because they got beat so bad the week before, I'm like, oh, that's going to probably mess things up. They're going to come in not wanting to lose two in a row. But yeah, I mean, from a performance standpoint, still would like to see the running game do a little bit better. But everything to my knowledge, they did what everybody needed to do: defense, offense, everything was where it needed to be in order to pull off a win, and that's what I was satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah, so well, I don't know. I mean, running game wise, I was actually pretty happy. I was happy with the 65 yards because they're running different than what they were earlier in the season. They're running more patient. They're waiting for the holes to develop, and I think it's just going to get better and better as weeks go on. As far as worrying about, I mean, I had no worries about Philly at all this week, and I didn't. I think if anything with the Eagles or with the Niners game, it kind of just proved to me that what I've been saying about the Eagles and stuff for months now is that they're the greatest, most overrated 10-3 team, and well, now 10-3 team in history. I mean, I just don't think they're that good.
I agree 100%.
I mean, it's just, to me, is like the Niners. I still think the Niners are a top tier team. I think the Cowboys are behind them, and then I think it's just like you can go down a couple of levels before it gets to that next team. I really do. I don't think the Eagles are that good. And I think it's going to get worse for them. Whatever happened, between all the games they played, because everyone's saying excuses about the teams they've played recently and the amount of time they played them, which they're trying to give them like a little slack, which I don't understand. They didn't give the Cowboys any slack. But
for Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we went on the same stretch. We played 3 games in 11 days or something like that. We've been on the same stretch. And it's the NFL. I mean, the team stuff. I mean, there's only so many elite teams or so many great teams in the NFL. So that's just the argument I think has been beaten, so far to death that it doesn't even make any sense anymore. Because you can make the same argument with who the Eagles have played, who the Cowboys have played, and who the Niners have played.
Well, and it shows, to me, anyone who says that, especially someone who's comparing our schedule to Philly's schedule, we have the exact same schedule except for 2 games.
Exactly.
And the 2 games are the NFC South. Like, they had to play Tampa, and we played, I don't even know. I looked at it before. I'm like, because I was arguing with somebody from Houston. I was like, we have exactly the same schedule. And the difference is Philly snuck by some of those teams.
Exactly.
I think the difference is like 3 teams.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact.
I think it's only 2. Like, I think it
should be 3.
Oh, I thought it was only 2. I thought we looked at it and it was only 2. But anyway, but bottom line, Philly was squeaking out a win against they had to play the Giants twice, whatever coming up. But like teams that we've been blowing out by 30, they would win by 2.
Yeah, exactly.
and then it finally caught up to them. They realistically, like I was looking at it last night. If we wanted,
they've been Hoover Dam from the Vacation movie, getting blocked up with a leak spit
bubble
blocking
gum,
bubble
yep.
gum until the whole damn thing broke. That's what
If
happened with the Eagles. I'm
if
sorry about
we'd
that.
have
Go ahead.
if we'd have won in Philly, if Buffalo had won and Kansas City won, this wouldn't
Yeah.
even be a conversation. Like
Nope.
Philly they wouldn't be a factor. And it's just, it's just one of those things where but the thing about it is with Philly, and it something, because I do like Jalen Hurts. I've liked him from when he was in college, and the fact that he didn't even stay on the field last night to shake Dak's hand, there's more. I feel like there might be more going on internally, because that's not like him at all.
Well, one, he's playing hurt for one.
They said he was 100% though. I mean, I guess
there's no way that guy's 100%.
Yeah,
I don't think
100%. Yeah.
No, I don't think so anyways.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. I mean, it's easy to compare when start looking at records. Well, they were this last year, but no, it's still a completely different team. You talk about two different teams still. I mean, setting the records aside, last year's Philadelphia team is completely different to this Philadelphia team. To me, they're just not the same. But what's your thoughts on that? Ron, as far as just the Cowboys' play overall against the Eagles this previous game, as far as just because I thought they were dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, not like it just seems like to me that the score was way closer than what it really was. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, and that's kind of how I looked at it too. I did say against Eagles, and that was my one of my concerns going into the game, is that you can't exchange field goals for touchdowns with the Eagles. But if the defense keeps playing the way that they played last night, and my hat's off to the defense, especially Gilmore on last night, that just shows, there's still some concerns out there from some of the haters that are believing that, well, Dak is still Dak because he had the one fumble or whatever. And going forward, the competition gets stiffer, can't afford that kind of stuff. But if the defense, which we have not really had much of consistency, if the defense can make some stops, that will help situation. It doesn't help when we have turnovers on the offense and then the defense turns around and let the team just walk right down the field and score a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the turnover, I didn't like it, but I still think that's you're not Dak is going to turn over the ball. I think we should just be happy that he hasn't turned over the ball as much as like everybody else has. I mean, turnovers happen. I just don't think I don't think it's realistic to think that he was never going to get another turnover or anything for the rest of the season, whether it's a fumble or interception or whatever. What's your thoughts, Lisa?
Well, and let's take it one step further. Like those guys, those are large, gigantic humans that are running after him. They outweigh him by probably 100 pounds. And they kind of ran free on that particular play. I mean, they got not really running free, but like if anybody had been doing their job against Jordan Davis, was it Jordan Davis that picked it up? No, Jalen Carter. Like if he was being blocked, he wouldn't have been that free to pick it up and run. Like there's a breakdown up front that causes that.
Yeah, there's a couple plays.
And okay, Dak was the last one to have it in his hands, but like it's like with some of the particulars of the fan base that we always talk about, he has one fumble and it negates the other 500 plays he's had in the last 10 weeks or 9 weeks, whatever.
It's like the weirdest thing ever to me. It's still.
I don't know about you all, but I got a little nervous when that fumble happened because that made the score 24-13. We were now looking at an 11-point difference, and I'm like, oh boy.
It brought back the old feelings, how they're in the Jason Garrett era where it would have gotten really close.
Yes.
But I truly felt like, honestly, on the first drive, like it was like methodical. We drove right down and scored. And I was like, if this happens one more time, it's over because you're gonna break them. They're already in their heads from last week. And then if it starts to happen again, and it did, and ultimately, like, the things there were everybody. So I heard one a national. I can't remember which one it was today. Was like, well, but Philly had uncharacteristic turnovers. Yeah, caused by Dallas Cowboy
Yeah.
players punching it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like it
by
wasn't like they were running
uncharacteristic
free.
Cowboys defense actually playing hard
Right.
and going
exactly.
after
Well,
turnovers.
I mean, this even goes back to the Cowboys' loss against the Eagles. I mean, so the Cowboys played a good game, I thought, except a couple minor things. Well, they probably turned out to be big things at the end, but I mean, that's not really a big thing. I mean, just thinking of the Eagles, also, man, we just got blown away by the Niners, and now we're getting ready to play a Cowboy team that we're just a few mistakes away from. We could have lost that first game. I mean, there's
Right.
probably a bunch of different stuff going on in their head.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, but AJ Brown he's Terrell Terrell Owens ish. Like he is one more dropped pass, fumble, missed something away from an explosion. He's had little ones already, but he's not far from having a full on come apart.
I'm telling you, a game that might be some intriguing football next week. I'm being 100% serious. That Seattle Seahawks Eagles game.
If Gino plays, I feel like
Yeah,
Seattle has a shot.
yeah.
I 100% agree.
Drew
I
Lock ain't
do
it.
too. And that's just a small shot.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it happening. But
You mean okay, hold on. So Ron, you think if Gino plays, they only have a small shot?
no,
They
I
have a
think
better chance than if they have Lock, but
Oh, for sure.
I still
I
don't think it's a great shot at
I don't
winning against
know.
Gino.
I think Seattle has a way better chance than what you got. What you're going to give them credit against the way that's stated in the Eagles right now.
DK. Well, the thing about it is with Seattle and specifically DK, and this is what the 49ers did yesterday. The 49ers are bullies. And they figure out who the heart and soul of your team is, and they're going to they got under DK skin, and he ended up getting kicked out, as a matter of fact. He and
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
He's more close
Lenore.
to the teal than me than
Yeah.
H.
But like the way that AJ played against our secondary, I feel like
Yeah.
our secondary is better than Philly's.
Yeah.
And so if Gino's healthy, I think they have a shot. Now, I could be wrong, but
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Where's the game? Is it in Philly or is it in
no, it's
Seattle?
in Seattle.
Oh, okay. So they might have a little shot then.
Yeah, I mean, it would not
If Gino
surprise
plays.
me.
If
It
Gino
would.
plays.
Yeah, and that's honestly like I don't feel like Philly's going to lose any of their last three. They play the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Giants are their
I
last three.
I honestly think they could implode. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to lose every game, but I would not be surprised in seeing them lose 2 games. I just wouldn't be. I think the thing's going to implode.
Two of the next four.
Could happen, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I don't think
Ooh.
so. If they don't lose to Seattle, I don't know. I don't think they're going to lose anything else. They got the Cardinals and they got the Giants twice after that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know.
know. We'll see.
That Cardinals game could be could be a little with Kyler Murray. It could be something, but I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I forgot that he was back, or,
Mhm.
or he's been back. But what do you guys think about the? We've already talked about Gilmore. What do you think about the defensive side of the ball? I mean, I thought it was overall. I thought they did damn good. Especially winning the turnover battle.
Yeah,
Did Bland play yesterday?
he
He
did. Thank
played.
God his name wasn't called.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
the way I look at it, sometimes if you're playing that type of position, your name's
yeah,
not called. That's probably a good thing.
yeah. He had 4 tackles, so yeah,
Hmm.
he had 2 for a loss. So I don't know. I guess I was crossing him up with someone else. I didn't know if maybe that was Jordan Lewis getting in there or what's his name, Marcus Bell. Sometimes I get him mixed up with defensive backs because of his size. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
I think the only thing I didn't like about the game yesterday was how the offense came into the second half.
mhm,
Yeah,
I mean, that kind of drove me nuts because it didn't seem like they had a sense of urgency.
mhm,
it felt like the rhythm was off.
Yes.
yeah.
I mean that really kind of bugged me a little bit.
Mhm.
But
But I think we still have got to pick up the run game. I heard that it's looking better than it has been,
I
but
think so.
it concerns me because we say we did okay in the run. We had 39 passes in a game that we won by 20 points. We only had 28 runs out of
Mhm.
39 passes. We shouldn't have had to pass that much in a game that we won by 20. And I think we had to do more because the running game just, I don't know if it was, it could, I know it was the penalties too. That hurt because then that
Yeah,
takes you out of running
because
situations.
yes, they had two good runs that ended up going back.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So that does hurt.
here's the
Go ahead.
thing though. But here's the thing. It goes back to the way they came into the second half.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like they weren't running. To me, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm just my memory, but it doesn't seem like they were trying to run the ball really that much when they came in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So that's play calling on them. I don't think it's because the
Yeah.
running game wasn't working, or maybe I'm wrong.
Gotcha.
What do you think,
No,
Lisa?
go ahead, Lisa. Yeah.
I mean, it felt like it was more balanced, and I feel like it was a good mix of Tony Pollard and Dowdle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think the penalties played a factor in it because then. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted him to be more aggressive. I wanted him to stay aggressive
Mm-hmm.
in the second half. Like, don't let off this throttle because we all know the Jason Garrett era. That would have been run, 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 punt, run, 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 punt, run, run,
Mm-hmm.
run, punt, and hope for the best. We might still have won, but it would have been like we would have won by 1 or 3 or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's. But I'm not mad at the run game. Like I feel like it is. Like Troy, I think it was you said earlier. Like they're seeing the holes and the holes are there more.
Yeah, yeah. It just
And
seems like they're way more patient.
Yeah.
Going, cutting through than what they were originally. It's like they were just trying to smash into stuff in the beginning of the season, but now it just
mhm,
seems like they're kind of just like taking what's given to them, which is
Yeah.
it's a 4 or 5 yard gain in most cases, which I mean I'll gladly accept that. I don't know. I mean I don't know if this team's gonna have like those 100-yard explosions. I don't know if this team is like built like that.
mhm.
But I think for what they do, you can give me 65 to 80 yards a game and stuff. I'm good with that. I mean, let's just go ahead and kick it back to you, Ron.
Yeah, and yeah, I just think when we get into situations where it's not the Eagles, and you start getting into the postseason, first round probably not much of a threat, but if you start meeting up with a team like the 49ers, I think you're going to have to keep them more off balance because that's what they do. And I don't know, maybe we do like they do and start throwing the little 5 yard check downs and you know, we've got people that can work well in space, Turpin and Cooks and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got to find a way, to just get that ball moving either through the run game or in space where we're not having to chuck it downfield.
Yeah.
But I
And
don't. But
that's
that's
looking great. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
the difference, though. I think is we didn't have to throw it last night. We
Yeah,
did, and it was
yeah,
successful. And I'm
yeah.
of the fact. I mean, my opinion is if it ain't broke, if they're gonna keep letting you throw it, then keep throwing it.
Yeah. Yeah, because Ferguson seems like he's open every damn like all the damn time, damn near.
Legit, he is becoming my
Fergus,
favorite player.
and
Yes,
I'm totally on board with
yes.
you on that, Lisa Lee.
I am
And you know
too.
what it is? It was the swagger that he had
Yes.
in the
Mm-hmm.
Seattle game.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He talked so much trash, and I am here for it. When he stared
Yeah.
down, and y'all know how I feel about Jamal Adams because he's from LSU, but
Yeah.
when he stared down Jamal Adams, I was like, this may be the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And like when the best one for me though was when he was pointing for first down and the defender was like in his armpit. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was just like the swagger. That's what we've been missing. Like
Yeah.
that's that,
Yes.
oh my God. I saw a thing today that said that Shaq, what's his name? Leonard picked the Eagles because they had some dogs, and everybody in the comments, I posted a picture of this little bitty Yorkie. I was like, is this the dog that you're talking about?
Yeah.
And but like Jake Ferguson is bringing that kind of
Yeah.
mentality. And
Yeah,
then,
he got swagger, athleticism.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
he's just a great player. That
Yeah.
might be my next jersey.
And then they
Well,
said,
It very well
he's a
could be.
guy that we haven't seen that kind of attitude since Dez was here. They
right.
said that
Hmm.
Dez brought that intensity. If you remember one of the most familiar games with us against the Eagles, when he got into it with those guys during the pregame and
Yeah.
like, I'm
Hmm.
gonna light you up today.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
No, I mean, yeah.
the room has been kind of soft over the last few years.
No, yeah. It's definitely overall, this is like I haven't quite put my finger on it yet, like 100% solid. But this is a different football team. Don't you guys agree? I mean, it's different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would say that it's different. It
I
is.
mean, because last year, what was our record last year? This time,
Uh,
Felt like it was about the same.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've had but it's just something about this team that's just a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. Of course, there's going to be some reservations where some things seem familiar, like, oh, this is getting ready to go bad real quick. But for the most part, they've kind of shut their mouths on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm worried a little bit because I think Jonathan Hankins is going to be out for a couple games, and I'm not sure I'm sold on the Mozzie Smith experience yet. So,
yeah, I mean, but this is the time. Well, I mean, this is the time you guys got to throw them in and just see what we got. You know,
yeah, he played yesterday.
yeah,
He was late both times too.
yeah. I mean, what do you think they try and do some bargain shopping?
Nah, they should. I mean, and Dominican Sue is available, but I don't know that you do that at this point. They already did one. There's one
Yeah.
on the practice squad. I can't remember who it is though.
Yeah, believe it or not, we were 10-3 at this time. We're right on schedule. 10-3
Hmm.
last year.
Okay, yeah, but clearly different still. I mean,
It
that
feels different. You're definitely right. I think it does feel different. I don't know what it is,
Well, we just beat the brakes off a pretty decent team, which
but
I
last year
We beat
we didn't
Philly
have
pretty
that kind
solid
of a
on
win.
Christmas Eve too last year.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the thing is, it's just like
Well, who was this?
We
Uh,
beat Philly on Christmas Eve last
well, they
year.
didn't have Jalen Hurts last year.
Yeah, well, when they beat us in October, we didn't have Dak either.
Well, that's what I'm
So,
saying.
mm,
We beat a team with Jalen Hurts, which
oh
makes it
yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah,
Yeah, because
that's true.
last year we
Good
won
point.
Christmas Eve. We
I don't
didn't
know.
play Philly when they didn't
And
have
I feel
Jalen
like
Hurts.
we should
I,
have beat them in Philly this year. That's why I
yeah,
think I feel a little
absolutely,
more confident
absolutely,
because
absolutely, and I'll put it to you guys. I'll put it to you guys like this and stuff. If you're erasing records away and stuff between the Seahawks and the Philadelphia game, and you did not have no clue what was what, Seattle, when you looking at them, you would have thought was a better team than Philadelphia in their last two games.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
You
Mhm.
know, so I don't know. I mean, got the Buffalo Bills coming up next.
Oh
What do you
yeah.
guys think about that? Anybody got any feel on what the weather's supposed to be like on Sunday?
I'm
Cold, but
guessing.
not Buffalo cold.
Oh,
So
for
No, it's
it's
not.
going to be colder than what we're accustomed to here in the Texas, Dallas,
Yeah,
Fort Worth area. I think it's mid to low 40s, but
oh, that's
it's
serviceable.
a
yeah.
late afternoon game, so you got the potential for that second half to start getting
Sure.
down a little bit low.
It start getting a little
Yeah,
dirty. Yeah, yeah.
once that sun falls out of the sky, I think you're going to start looking at closer to 30s in that late third quarter, early fourth
But
quarter window.
no precipitation.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't see any precipitation.
okay,
No
because yeah,
snow, no rain,
that could get
just
ugly.
cold.
That could get ugly real quick in the second
Yeah, no
half.
snow, no rain, just cold.
One of my guy friends is a Buffalo fan, and he's like, "We should go to the game." Absolutely not. I am not built for that kind of weather. Oh no.
No, I've done something like that before, and I vowed that I would not do it again. I did a Boise State game once,
Oh wow.
and I was like, nope. And I actually did one here. I think it was at TCU Stadium for
Hmm.
one of those little bowl games.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
And like around this time of the year, is around December time, and it was the year that Dallas decided it wanted to be cold around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Because my wife's asked me, like, "Oh, I see that there's tickets out there. That are you interested in the bowl games that are coming?" I'm like, "Not if they're all in outdoor stadiums. I'm not." I think the only team that's playing, and I know we'll jump right back on the Cowboys. I think that's playing indoors. I think the Buckeyes are playing Missouri. I think at AT&T Stadium, but everybody else is outdoor. SMU, TCU Stadium, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
UNT. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's my only concern about the next. Well, my concern about the next two
yeah.
is obviously the weather, but then that
Hmm.
it's across the country. I
Hmm.
mean, twice. Like you got to go to Buffalo, come back, and then go to Miami. And then
Yeah.
I think we're back here. Oh, then we
Yeah, for
play
Detroit,
Detroit,
yeah,
and then
at
we play
home.
Washington.
So Detroit's the
Are the
30th,
last?
right? That's the Jimmy. That's Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it
Is
is.
the Washington game here? No, because we played them on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Hmm.
Washington's on the road.
Okay. And hopefully we need the one seed. Like I don't know. I'm torn
I,
on the 1 seed. I want to get y'all's opinion. So
I,
obviously
yeah.
we play well
Go
at
ahead.
home,
Yes,
Yes.
but
that's
the,
obvious right now. That's
yeah,
obvious.
Hmm.
but the 49ers, I feel like it makes them fast too because they're playing on turf. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
they don't have conditions either.
Hmm.
But
I think you're making a. I think you're.
that I'm genuinely concerned about.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the home field would matter either way. I mean, it's just a team that I haven't seen. I just haven't seen enough for me to think that the Cowboys. I mean, I just don't think the Niners are just that much better. As great as the Cowboys are playing, I just think the Niners are just way, way better. It's still like a different league right now, you know. And I don't know if home field advantage will even matter. I'm at the point where I don't care about home field advantage as much as probably other people do. I would like to have a home game, of course, but I don't know we need to have our whole path here at home either. I mean, is there? I mean, I guess I'll measure what you guys think. Is there any team? Well, Lisa just said it. The only team that scares her is the Niners. I mean, what about you, Ron?
I do not want to go to Levi Stadium for the
Mm-mm.
second round or an NFC Championship game. I don't think I want to put this team that's inexperienced with going that far, especially if it's an NFC Championship game, going to Levi Stadium.
I
Those,
just think I don't know if there's any other path because I think we could possibly win out and still be
yeah, yeah,
behind.
and we could win out as long as the Eagles win out. They'll still win the division because again, we're still
Yes.
chasing that Cardinals game
Uh huh.
during the season. Well, you can say the Cardinals, you can say the last Eagles game we shouldn't have
Yeah.
lost,
We should
and
be
also
12
yeah,
and 1.
yeah.
Yeah.
So any of those games we can pick and choose and say, the San Francisco blowout that we didn't go into prepared. So any one of those three you can kind of pick and say we're chasing that game. Why we probably won't win the division, and if we're gonna end up somewhere though, I don't know. I was kind of reluctant to go to San Francisco because I thought Philly was gonna be kind of cold to be playing in January, but after what we did, I'm not as concerned. I don't want to go anywhere really on the road, potentially in the NFC Championship game because I think our team is still young, and I would rather them be in a home environment. But if we don't get the number one seed, we're gonna have to. And I don't know. I guess I would rather go to San Francisco. It's probably not going to be as cold there.
Mm-mm. I'd rather go to
Philly.
Philly because I
Yeah.
know the
Yeah. I'd
opponent.
rather. Yeah. I'd
Well,
rather
the
go to
thing is,
Philly
we
too.
just don't think Philly's going to be that far.
Well, that's
No.
fair.
Well,
That's a good
that
point.
that, and I
yeah,
still don't think they're that good.
That's
yeah,
what I
So
that's
mean.
why I'm
But
just
yeah.
yeah,
Either
they
saying.
may not
way.
be
Yeah,
that. They may not
Yeah.
even be there
yeah,
to
yeah.
Yeah.
host.
We'll either be in Dallas or we'll be in San Francisco. I don't think Philly's going to be that far.
No, but I mean, you never know. One of these other teams might
Yeah, it's
one of these other
possible.
teams might take out San Francisco. They might go into like a little downward. I mean, because they did lose 3 games in a row, so it's not like above them like losing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they
So,
had
yeah,
they had three. They basically had their entire offense hurt during
yeah,
those 3
yeah.
well,
games.
yeah,
Gurley,
yeah, theory,
Debo.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
basically true.
I
but I mean,
mean,
all yeah, yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Trent Williams, and I think Brock Purdy was hurt
Yeah.
during that 3 game stretch.
Mhm,
But or no, he wasn't hurt, but
mhm,
his weapons were hurt.
mhm.
Yeah, I just think going up again. If we ever we get to that point where we're playing a Niners team, it's like we just got to take that punch in the mouth and just stand back up and let them jokers know that we're not falling. And just
Hmm.
march the ball right back down the damn field and score on them.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
mean,
that's how you
basically,
fix that.
the way you're going to have to beat that team is you're going to have to rely on your defense to keep it close. And we had that, if you think about it, last year. We lost, what
Hmm.
was it, 23-17
Something like
last
that.
year?
Something
So it
like
was
wait,
close,
that
but
23-19, I think. It was
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it was something close. Yeah.
we had mistakes in that game. You cannot commit mistakes, especially in your own territory against this team, because this team, in the red zone, they're going to most likely convert to 7 points.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want to get behind down 14-0. 6-0, perhaps. But if our
But
defense, go ahead.
well, no, I think you're exactly on it. But I even think it can go so far as even further to be like if they get the ball first and you get a stop, like you hold
Yes.
them on that
Yeah.
first,
Yes.
I think it almost undoes all the mental hurdle of all the other matchups, because they have just
Mm-hmm.
gotten the ball and gone right down the field. So if the defense were to get a stop on the first drive, maybe
Mm-hmm.
not even 3 and out, but you just keep them from scoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
I legit think it undoes your mental hurdle.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you start feeling yourself a little bit at that point. Start getting a little, get a little swag going at that point. Like, we just stopped now. We proved that we can do it. Let's go.
Yeah. Because
Right.
we were in that game. It just
Mm-hmm.
once Pollard got hurt,
That
we
was
were
it.
Yeah.
trying to show some signs, but once he got hurt,
That was
and
it.
the defense, just didn't look like they were holding up. They were holding up for the most part, but the offense just couldn't get in the end zone enough.
Hmm.
Well,
And
and
I
the
mean,
crazy part is, as bad as we played, we were still in it.
Yes,
Both
yeah.
exactly.
times. Both
Hmm.
times, except for in the playoff games. We played terrible
Yeah.
both times, and we
Yes,
Hmm.
were still in it.
yes, yes. So if
Yeah.
we can not play like that and play more like we've been doing down the stretch right now, we actually have a chance. If the team plays defense and the offense plays the way it's been playing right now, we could put up points,
Hmm.
30 something points on the Niners. Our defense would just have to be able to hold those guys, and we would just have to be able to find a way to hold those guys.
Hmm.
Hmm.
No, I agree.
It's a lot of asking because they got as much power on their side as we do with tight end, a running back,
Yep. Hmm.
quarterback that's efficient. All the stuff that we give fits with, other
Yep. You're
teams
right.
fits with.
Um, Buffalo Bills big game to you guys? I think it's a,
Every game,
yeah.
Every game from here on
every
out.
game from
Yep.
here on out.
I think that, and I just think it's just a huge game because of the Josh Allen thing. I want Josh Allen to be embarrassed this week for all the. I'm just talking in perspective to Dak Prescott. Oh, I take Josh Allen over Dak Prescott. I'm like, well, I want to see Josh Allen destroyed this week, so that conversation can stop. I just don't. The Dak stuff still bothers me. You know, because we got people. There's still people lurking in our fan base, sitting there Indian style on their little bed with their little diary, just waiting for Dak to mess up so they have something to say. And as pathetic as that sounds,
Yeah,
I just want Dak. I just want this so damn bad for Dak.
yeah. I do too. I'll tell you, I do. I truly want these games for him and the team. I mean, we
Yes.
really need these games. We really do.
Here's how bad that faction of the fan base is. Even my Philly friend that I had lunch with yesterday, he
Did you guys
legit
did you guys have Philly steak? All the Philly steak you guys
no.
could eat.
We went to a place in Arlington where there was kind of a mix, Cowboy fans and Philly fans, but where we were sitting there were more Cowboy fans, and he got up and I gave him a hug, and I was like, "Oof, I feel disgusting. I feel dirty." And everybody around me was laughing, but I mean, he's like, "I don't know why y'all are so hard on Dak." And I was like, I'm not. I had one moment where I was like, you've got to change something.
Yeah.
I said, we got blown out by the 49ers. And I was like, what the hell, And
Mhm.
he was like hearing that from his perspective, he was like, look at his statistics, look at all he's done, and look at this and look at that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But like, he goes, there's that one group. And I was like, yeah. And they're very vocal about it. And he goes, he can do one thing. He said he could have 300 good plays and he does one thing wrong. And it's just the world is ending. And I was like, yeah, I know.
30 years. 30 years. Close to
Yeah.
30 years. You don't have that much room and time for error. We've seen regular season success before. That's not a problem.
True.
It's not Dak. If it wasn't Dak, it'd be whoever the quarterback is, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah. You're right.
Lance, Cooper Rush, whoever it is.
I
If
don't know.
you can,
There's people that love Cooper Rush, man.
but I'm just saying, you get him in the postseason, and all of a sudden he's gonna be like any other Cowboys quarterback so far in the past decade or more. That you get into the playoffs, and there's a tendency to always see something different. That
True.
pressure, and you know just the penalties with the line, and it causes mistakes to happen, and you know. So it would be anybody. It just happened to be it's Dak's turn now. It's Dak's
Right.
turn. As a matter of fact, if I remember correct, when he came in the league, he was one of the biggest critics of Tony Romo before
Yeah.
he came in the NFL.
Yeah.
He always said, "This guy, like I could probably get out there and do better." Someone had a
No,
tweet of him that he had sent
Dak
that. Yeah,
for that one stretch in college. He was the hottest. He was the hottest thing in town, man. I mean, he got his SI cover and everything. I mean, he was literally that little brief moment in time.
Yeah,
Dak was it.
yeah,
You
but I
know.
look at this Buffalo schedule, and it gives me some hope. Going in here, weather permitting. Like I said, the weather is not going to be like Buffalo like we expect. But when I
Mhm.
look on their schedule and I see they've lost to the Broncos, 24-20, the Eagles, barely beat them by a field goal.
Mhm.
I look at the Giants, held them to 14 points. You know, um,
There's
so
definitely
yeah,
sauce there to take if they, like I feel like we're better than them.
yeah,
Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
but you got to execute. I mean, we were better
yes,
than the Cardinals too. Like
yeah,
light years
Yeah.
better than the
yeah,
Cardinals.
yeah,
Mhm.
And if we play the Cardinals right now, we beat them by 40. Like
Probably
hmm
that's
so.
just
Yeah.
I don't think the play calling was the same in the very
hmm
beginning of the season.
or the
I don't
personnel. We're
yeah,
missing
Personnel.
linemen. We had
yeah,
just
that's
Diggs had
true.
just went out. We were just that was Bland's, I think, his first game in for Diggs, if I remember
Mhm.
correct. So
And
it
and,
was
and
yeah, it was a lot.
and another thing too, Steele needs to be careful because that
Oh
that
my
that
goodness.
that
Oh my
one
goodness.
play that
Oh
one
my
play
goodness.
with Dak, my heart like fell into my damn shoe and shit.
Wow.
Because I thought I'm serious. I'm like, oh my god, don't let him be hurt. Don't let him be hurt. Just the way
Yeah.
he just fell like a little bit. I mean, we need to get that cleaned up.
With
But I
Yeah.
did.
his when he it's like it looked bad on the initial play, and then when they showed it from the backside, I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. But I
Yeah,
thought it was his knee. I thought his knee
yep.
blew out.
Because it looked like he got folded over
Like
almost.
he
I was
like
Yeah.
he
like,
buckled. It looked like it
yep.
buckled, and I thought I was gonna throw up. I was
Uh,
like,
I was like, oh
oh no.
no. I do have one question for you guys. So just observe it. I do a little observation on the sidelines. Just seeing when they show people on the sidelines and stuff. Is Cooper Rush even on the team anymore? I see
Of
it way.
course.
I see
Yeah.
way more. I see way more Trey Lance and Dak stand on the sideline. Kind of warming up and passing. So I don't see Cooper Rush on the team at all.
Yeah, but I think Trey is still in the learning process. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say
Apprentice.
like
Yeah.
Apprentice.
he's up next to Dak
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Let's learn. Look at
Yeah.
the iPad. He's
Yep.
so I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. Cause,
definitely a player that
yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing in preseason next
Yeah.
year.
Because
I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
really, what is Cooper Rush gonna do standing next to Dak? What is he gonna learn? What is he getting mentored
Yeah,
on?
he
This
already
guy
learned.
knows
Yeah.
he's a career backup.
yeah,
Hmm.
well, I mean, he's
Yeah.
not learning how to say the cadence the correct way. So I hate the way he says it. You know,
So yeah,
here we go, fellas.
yeah. Trey Lance is either gonna be the next guy up at some point, or he's going to be heading somewhere else, taking what he learned from Dak being on the sidelines with him. So
Hmm.
Cooper
Yeah,
Rush, he's at his whatever. He's hit his ceiling,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. You never.
He's a
Yeah,
begotten. I would take that ceiling at $7 million
oh,
that he got
absolutely.
Yeah.
last year.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
never know. You never know. This Trey Lance thing might be it could be a thing. You never know. I mean, just say next season, Dak. Well, I mean, I honestly think Dak is going to end up being our starter again next year. But I'm sitting there thinking
Of
like,
course, yeah.
I'm still thinking like, okay,
Because he's
say
still
Trey Lance.
young.
Yeah, say Trey Lance has like a good or a really good preseason, and like another quarterback that goes down someplace else.
Yeah.
That fourth round draft pick could all of a sudden be flipped into a third or maybe a
Hmm.
second. You never know.
Yeah.
So it could be genius down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely they're in a good situation right now. I believe that the team is. I mean, he's still a young guy. What is this his second season or third? Second?
Third, because he was
Third.
So
hurt.
third season. So
Hurt
Mhm.
he's
that
got
first one.
so yeah, he's got one more and they're gonna extend Dak. So it's gonna I don't know. He may not be here, but he was brought in, I believe, in the event. Not that it was going to take poor performance, but I believe in the event Dak had went down, they were willing to take this offense with a chance and with mobility and put him in.
Yeah,
I
versus
think
Hmm.
it was
versus
an
ver,
insurance policy.
yeah versus Cooper Rush being in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I could definitely see that.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, you definitely want to if you got I mean, if your main star goes
yeah,
down, and you need to do something to jumpstart the offense.
yeah.
Jumpstart the
Because I
offense is
mean, the
definitely
league,
not going to put up
as
Cooper
I
Rush.
had the conversation with Kyle, the league is turning to a younger, more mobile QB position.
Not just that, you don't have to be a first round pick to be a quarterback in the
Oh
NFL
no,
anymore either. And I think that's another thing that kind of falls, because with Dak being a fourth, that people kind of look at it kind of strange also. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll put it like this. I wouldn't quite say that. Well, I will say, if you're not going to get a first round QB, you better have a QB whisperer on your sideline. Somebody like an Andy Reid or somebody, Kyle Shanahan. You're not just going to send any old body to a team that's a late round QB and expect this guy to be magic. It's just,
I mean, I feel like that's
Mhm.
your answer, right? I mean, you answered your
Mhm.
own.
Mhm. Yeah.
Why was the last decade a complete waste of Tony Romo's career
Yeah.
and part of Dak Prescott's because
Oh
of
yeah.
Jason Garrett?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you had Wade Wilson in some of those with Romo. And you had Wade Wilson
I
with
thought
Dak
that
a little bit
was,
too,
and I thought that was
right?
his good years, even
Yeah,
with
mhm.
Dak.
yeah. Because Wade
Because I
Wilson
think
was. I
Dak had
mean,
a couple of years under Wade.
yeah, he passed away too, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
Wade, yeah, R.I.P. Wade
yeah. He
Wilson.
did.
But yeah. But it seems like he was making a difference in his role with the organization also. And we got it with McCarthy now. I
Well,
mean, love
John Kitna had a big
Yes.
effect on
true.
Dak's. Like, I
Yeah,
think he was working mainly with his footwork and
yeah,
some of the things, and that's when he played the best. But then John left to go. I think he's coaching.
yeah. I
Is he
think
still coaching? Because it's
I
something
think
that
so.
I
well,
think
he
some
must not be as successful as Jason Witten is right now because I haven't heard much from him since
No,
he
he had a
quit.
problem with his son. His son was doing some horrible stuff, I
Oh,
think.
okay. So
I
he
mean, I can't
probably
remember.
has stepped down, probably.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, because I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to say. But I mean, I just think, Lisa, you heard something about it, didn't you?
I think he got it. Didn't he get it like a DUI or?
No, it was something about
Oh,
something inappropriate about on his
oh
internet,
no.
on its internet,
Mm,
Oh,
on its interwebs. That's what I
gotcha,
thought. But
I'm looking right
gotcha.
now.
okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and pull that up because I just want to because I think it was something like that.
I'm trying to see if he's still coaching. I'm
But
gonna look up his son.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jason Witten. That was kind of crazy. They won, and his boys. You remember how they were? They were little when he was here, and they're both playing on
hmm
that team.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
crazy. It is crazy how that works and stuff. Yeah. I give much credit to Jason Witten.
yeah. It wasn't.
Still. I mean, I get flack for it, but still not my favorite tight end in Cowboys history.
Yeah, it had five felony child porn charges. Five felony child porn.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, he was
That's
the Burleson coach. That's where I live right now.
so. Is he?
But he's coaching somewhere else now. He's back in Ohio.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, really?
So it didn't
He's the
impact.
head football. Well, head football coach at Lakota East High School in Ohio.
Mm.
That has
Okay.
to be rough. Still, going through that, and you got your man. Whew, I couldn't imagine. But
Yeah, it probably had to go. Yeah, just probably had to do a change of scenery because of
hmm
all that was going on. Unfortunately.
hmm But Jason, I mean, is that a weird a thing for me to not for Jason Witten not to be my favorite tight end in Dallas Cowboy history?
He's
Mm,
not.
No, mine's Jay Novacek.
Yeah, I knew it was Novacek, but I didn't think Witten was that far behind. Yeah, Novacek was
No,
pretty good.
Witten. I mean, Witten's, but I mean, well, Novacek's just ahead to me. I mean, what
mm-hmm.
Witten? I mean, and that's not taking anything away from Witten at all.
Mhm.
But Jay Novacek was just always. I mean, this Ferguson kid, he's doing the hurdling and stuff that Novacek used to do.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he was hurdling people. So, I mean, yeah, I've always liked Jay Novacek.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. If Jake Ferguson keeps playing like he's playing, he will quickly rise to the top of the ranks for me.
Yeah, he could end up being classified as like one of those top 3 type tight ends, like those
Well, he got high praise when they came out of that tight end U that Travis Kelce and George Kittle put on every year. Travis Kelce on his podcast, I can't remember which episode. I don't know if it was the podcast, but he was talking about when they came out of that. He was telling somebody, whatever interview I saw, he said, one of the people I'm the most impressed with is Jake Ferguson.
Mm,
And he plays a lot like Travis Kelce. If you really look at his game,
yeah,
like he's more like, remember when Jason Witten was reliable, but he was going, if you threw the ball 8 yards, you were going to get 8 yards. You were not
Yeah,
going to get, except for that
the helmet.
one time against Phil. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was thinking of. But like Ferguson, you can get some yak. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
it's It's not just
Yeah.
to catch it and fall down.
No, you don't want to.
Mhm.
You don't want to give that man a couple of inches or whatever. You want
Mm-mm.
to.
Yeah.
you want to. You want to. You want to definitely be up close to him and stuff. When he's catching the ball, 'cause he can. He can put it on you. He's always trying to catch and spin out real quick or whatever. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just
We
a
knew
just a
that.
great player.
We
But
knew that.
okay. So we all acknowledge that this is a big game. Every game is big going forward.
Mhm.
I mean, I think we're going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna win by a couple of couple of scores or whatever. I don't think we're gonna blow them out or anything. I think the weather conditions are probably gonna have some type of impact on the game.
Mhm.
But I think we're definitely gonna win by a couple of scores. What do you guys think?
Yep. Go. I'll let you go, Lisa.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I do think it'll be closer than I think it may be tense for a little while, and then I
Mm-hmm.
feel like once they settle in and they get a little used to the condition, or, the just the temperature, then I think they'll settle in and talent will just win out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. They've played some. Like I said, I've been looking back through their schedule, and a lot of their games have been close. They've lost a lot of 5 points or less type of games. Eagles was 3 points. The Chiefs, they won by three. Broncos lost by two. So they've been in a lot of close games. The only game where they actually blew out the Dolphins. I don't know what happened with the Dolphins on that week. So they have the capability to do that, but a lot of their games have been close, and I think, yeah, only because of our darn penalties, why I think this game could be closer than what it should be, putting us
That
in
was a
Yeah.
long yardage
weirdly
situation.
it was weirdly officiated last night. I've never
Yes,
seen
it
a
was.
game where that many were picked up.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I thought, that first touchdown, I'm like, oh, this is getting ready to come back. I mean, this is like typical. All of a sudden, there was no penalty on the play. We're gonna go ahead and pick that play and that flag up. I was like, wow.
Yeah. But
So,
it's gonna. I expect it to be close and probably high scoring, maybe. Only with the fact because Josh Allen is catching a lot of flack right now, and the last thing I think they're gonna want is for Dak to come in and show him up. So I think they're gonna design a lot of stuff to get him the ball to people in some space type situation. He's going to do a lot of running. That's my biggest concern. I
mm-hmm,
think he's going to run more because that's what he did on us the Thanksgiving game.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
He was very efficient running the ball. So I think that's the kind of stuff we're going to have to be mindful of and try to get that ball out of his hands if he does run because he's a big
mm-hmm.
boy too.
No, he is. He
That's
is.
a Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I think you need to force him to throw it
Mm-hmm.
because he will throw some wild ass passes out
Yes.
there that'll
Yes.
just
Yes.
be
He
like dead
will.
ducks waiting for the center
Mm-hmm.
fielders to catch
Yeah.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bland. We didn't hear Bland's name and stuff this week, but I rest
Yeah. I
assure
think
you.
Bland gets one this week.
I rest assure you will hear his name this week.
I
maybe,
was
maybe,
confident against
maybe a
Geno
couple of
Smith, and I
times.
think I'm going to bring that same confidence into this game and say Bland gets one this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll hear from him again. But anyways, it's always fun talking to you guys about some Dallas Cowboy football. Do you have anything else you want to tell the people, Lisa?
No, just enjoy the ride. I mean, we all know what we're waiting for, and that's about the 10th of January ish. So just enjoy it right now, and hopefully things will turn in January. And we'll be having
Yes.
the conversation about going to Philly, or not Philly, but going to the Bay Area in late January. So,
I just want to get to the point where we can be downtown trying to figure out how the hell we're gonna tape a this parade we're witnessing in in podcast form.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do. And how
yeah.
I cry like a little girl and stuff as we're doing it when the parade is going by.
And
Because
I'm going to be wearing the hard hat with the straws and the cocktails coming out both
Yeah.
sides.
Goggles on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a backpack filled with beer.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna, man, just even thinking about that for a couple of
Yeah.
moments just put a big smile on my face.
Oh yeah.
Like it could possibly happen this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there's a shot,
Mhm.
But anyways, we're just gonna keep on riding this Dallas Cowboy train until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
So
Just enjoy it while it lasts.
that's all we can do. You got anything for the people, Ron?
I was just gonna say you're gonna get tired of me saying it, but we got to win every week.
Yeah.
This game, a lot of fans, our fan base are excited, and but we're not out of the woods.
No.
We're still basically we're ahead of the Eagles only because we played more division. We got more division wins, and so
Hmm.
if we lose this week, which I don't believe we will, and I hope not, the Eagles could be right back ahead of us by the end of the weekend, just
You're
by
right.
virtually them winning this upcoming weekend. So we're not. This division is not locked. We still got
Mm-mm.
good bit of games still left, and we have got to keep winning.
Yes. Yes, I mean
Yes.
it's kind of like this time. It's like sometimes you wish you had that margin of error to maybe
Mhm.
try and take one of those L's before
Mhm.
playoff time comes, just to get
Mhm.
it out of your system. But we can't afford that right now.
Mhm.
we can't lose another game. We just got to keep on going forward.
Yeah.
But
Give us
anyways,
two. Yeah, give us two home games, first and second round, and then we travel to San Francisco. I can live with that if we get two home games.
yeah,
Yep. Breaking news for not this week, but next week. Tyreek Hill is questionable to return in the Titans game.
Hmm.
Just that's still 2 weeks out for us, but
Oh yeah.
you
yeah,
know,
you
if
never
he's
know.
if he doesn't, that's
Yeah,
significant for their team.
yeah, because that's
Hmm.
one thing that you kind of yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
because that's the first thing the next week that we're going to be talking about. We got to figure out how to stop this guy.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
that draws coverage. I mean, it's going to
Yeah,
be
Yeah.
DK Metcalf all over again.
yeah, because that
Right.
dude, that dude is fast. Like fast.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, on behalf of myself, Lisa Lee, and Ron, I'd like to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. And how about them Cowboys leading the division right now? Because that's what we do.
First place.
First place, Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys, people?